Viewers, three major developments from Ethiopia. Welcome back to Africa Frontline. Viewers, according to reports, Ethiopia's ambassador to Somalia has publicly accused Eritrean troops, accompanied by heavy weapons, of entering Ethiopian territory and fighting alongside forces involved in the Raya conflict. If accurately reported, this would be a significant statement because it represents a direct accusation by an Ethiopian government official of active Eritrean military involvement inside Ethiopia. The reported presence of Eritrean troops would also give the conflict a wider regional dimension. Instead of being viewed only as an internal confrontation between Ethiopian federal forces and Tigrayan armed groups, direct participation by Eritrean forces would raise additional diplomatic and international law questions. The exact number of Eritrean personnel, their locations, and the extent of their involvement remains unclear, and these details require further independent confirmations. Here's, on the other hand, local reporters have reportedly claimed that forces associated with Amhara Fano and the Tigray Defense Forces have been operating together, and after abandoning some combat vehicles are moving south on foot towards Addis Ababa. At this point, this report remains unverified. There has been no independent confirmation establishing that a combined Amhara-Tigray force is actually advancing towards the capital. If the claim were eventually confirmed, however, it would represent a major change in the geographical scope of the conflict. Moving on foot instead of using vehicles could have several tactical explanations. Forces may be attempting to move through difficult terrain, avoid detection by surveillance drones, or reduce their exposure to possible airstrike. But the possibility of exaggeration or information warfare must also be considered. For that reason, this report should be treated as a claim rather than an established battlefield development until reliable evidence becomes available. Viewers, thirdly, reports and visual materials indicate that Tigray Defense Force has reportedly been seen using Iranian-made rocket system, including Fadak-2 rockets. This would be notable because it is reportedly the second Iranian weapon system identified in connection with Tigray Defense Force within a relatively short period. There are also claims that TPLF has obtained rockets from the Iranian Zilzal family, a long-range artillery rocket system. The reported appearance of these weapons raises broader questions about how military equipment is moving through regional supply networks. If Iranian-origin rockets can move through network connected to the Sudan conflict and eventually appear in another armed group's inventory, other sophisticated systems could potentially follow the same path. That could include anti-tank guided missile, air defense weapons, loitering munitions, or electronic warfare equipment. The concern is therefore not only about the weapon currently seen in Tigray, but about the possibility of a wider proliferation of military technology among armed groups operating across Horn of Africa. However, the exact origin, quantity, and supply route of the reported weapons still require independent verification. For now, several important details remain unverified. We will continue monitoring the situation and distinguish confirmed developments from claims as new evidence emerges. Viewers, thanks for watching Africa Frontline.